In a quaint little village, there lived a young boy. Now Ryan wasn't your average boy. He was remarkably intelligent, but oh, was he lazy. He had a knack for finding the most ingenious ways to avoid hard work. For instance, his father once tasked him with chasing birds away from their precious crops. Instead of running around the field all day, Ryan devised a clever system. He tied long ropes to tree branches, and from the comfort of his hammock, he'd just pull the ropes, making the branches rustle and scaring the birds away. He thought he had life all figured out. This went on for quite some time. Ryan would use his sharp mind not to excel, but to shirk his responsibilities. He'd decreate contraptions to fetch water from the well without leaving his porch, and even rig a pulley system to feed the chickens. His parents, a humble farming couple, would often sigh. They knew their son was brilliant, but they worried his laziness would be his undoing. They would say, "Ryan, intelligence is a gift, but without hard work it's like a field with no seeds." Ryan would just smile, thinking his shortcuts were proof of his genius. One year, however, things took a drastic turn. A severe drought hit the village. Sun beat down mercilessly, the earth cracked, and the vibrant green fields turned into a dusty, barren wasteland. Their crops, which were the family's only source of income, began to fail one by one. The stress and hardship took a toll on Ryan's father, who fell gravely ill. He was too weak to work, and the family's savings started to dwindle rapidly. Seeing his father lying in bed, pale and frail, and his mother's worried face, Ryan felt a profound sense of guilt. His clever shortcuts and lazy habits seemed so foolish now. The reality of their situation crashed down on him. His laziness hadn't just affected him, it had contributed to his family's plight. For the first time, a fire ignited within him, not of cleverness for the sake of ease, but of a desperate need to save his family. He knew he had to do something, and it had to be significant. Just then, news spread through the village like wildfire. The king, in his great wisdom, announced a grand competition. It was a series of challenges designed to test the wit, strength, and resourcefulness of his subjects. And the prize: a chest full of gold coins, enough to cure his father, buy new seeds, and restore their farm. This was it. This was his chance. The motivation he had always lacked was now staring him in the face: his love for his family. With newfound determination, Ryan packed a small bag and set off for the capital, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and resolve. When Ryan arrived at the capital, the air was buzzing with excitement. Hundreds of hopeful contestants had gathered, all vying for the king's prize. The first challenge was announced. Each contestant had to cross a wide, deep lake to reach the other side. The fastest ones would move on to the next round. Immediately, the strongest and most athletic men stripped off their shirts and dived into the cold water, swimming with all their might. Others, less confident in their swimming abilities, looked on in despair. Ryan stood by the shore, observing. He knew he was not a strong swimmer. Trying to compete with the others in a race of pure physical strength would be a fool's errand. His mind, his greatest asset, started racing. He scanned the area, his eyes darting from the trees lining the lake to the discarded materials near the shore. While others were already halfway across the lake, panting and struggling against the current, an idea sparked in Ryan's mind. He quickly gathered fallen logs and sturdy vines from the nearby woods. His hands, usually so averse to labor, worked with surprising speed and precision. He tied the logs together, weaving the vines into a tight, secure lattice. The other contestants who were still hesitating on the shore watched him, some scoffing at his seemingly slow approach. But Ryan was focused. He was building a raft. Within a short time, he had constructed a small but sturdy vessel. He pushed it into the water, hopped on, and using a long branch as a paddle, he began to glide across the lake. While the swimmers were tiring, fighting the cold and the currents, Ryan paddled steadily and efficiently. He wasn't the fastest, but he was conserving his energy. He overtook many of the exhausted swimmers, one by one. He reached the other side, not drenched and gasping for air, but relatively dry and composed. He had not only completed the challenge, but had done so with intelligence and foresight. The king, who was watching from his pavilion, nodded in approval. Ryan had secured his place in the final round. This first victory was a testament to his new philosophy. Intelligence, when paired with action, is a powerful force. The final challenge was a true test of might, or so it seemed. In the center of the grand arena stood a massive, rectangular wooden block. It was incredibly heavy, and the task was simple. Move the block from one end of the arena to the other. A line of the strongest men in the kingdom stood ready. One by one, they approached the block. They grunted, they strained, their muscles bulged, and their faces turned red with effort. But the block barely moved an inch. It was just too heavy for any single person to push. When it was Ryan's turn, the crowd murmured. They saw this slender boy who had cleverly crossed the lake. But this challenge was about raw power, not tricks. How could he possibly succeed where giants had failed? Ryan walked up to the block and examined it from all sides. He tried to push it, confirming what everyone already knew: it was impossible, but he didn't give up. He stood back, his hand on his chin, thinking. The problem wasn't just the weight, it was the friction. Pushing a flat, heavy surface against the ground was incredibly inefficient. Then, his eyes lit up. He turned to the judge and asked, "The rule is to move the block from one end to the other, correct? It doesn't say asterisk how asterisk I have to move it, does it?" The judge confirmed this was the case. Ryan then pulled out a small, sharp knife he carried in his bag. The crowd gasped, confused. What was he going to do? He didn't try to push the block again. Instead, he began to carve it. He worked tirelessly, chipping away at the sharp edges of the rectangular block. Shavings of wood fell to the ground as he meticulously started rounding the corners. The crowd watched in stunned silence, their ridicule turning into curiosity, and then into awe. He wasn't trying to make the block lighter, he was changing its shape. He was transforming the heavy, immovable cube into a sphere. After what felt like an eternity, Ryan was finished. Where a giant, stubborn block once stood, there was now a large, rough-hewn wooden ball. Ryan put his knife away, took a deep breath, and placed his hands on the newly formed sphere. He gave it a firm push, and it rolled. It started slowly at first, but it gathered momentum. Ryan easily guided it, rolling it across the arena floor with a fraction of the effort the other contestants had used. He rolled it all the way to the finish line, stopping it with a triumphant tap of his foot. The arena erupted in thunderous applause. The king rose to his feet, a broad smile on his face. Ryan had won. He hadn't overpowered the challenge. It outsmarted it. It proven that the sharpest tool is not always the strongest muscle, but a well-used mind. He was awarded the chest of gold, and he rushed home, his heart full of joy and relief. With the prize money, Ryan was able to get the best doctors for his father, who slowly recovered his health and strength. They bought new seeds, replanted their fields, and with Ryan now working diligently alongside his parents, the farm flourished like never before. Ryan's story became a legend in the village, taught everyone a valuable lesson. Even the laziest person can achieve incredible things when they find a motivation that is truly meaningful. For Ryan, that motivation was the love for his family. It turned his intelligence from a tool for avoidance into a force for greatness. And it showed that when you combine a sharp mind with a strong heart, there is no obstacle you can't overcome. I hope you enjoyed Ryan's story. It's a great example of how a powerful why can unlock our potential. This story is also a fantastic way to practice your English. Let's look at some of the vocabulary and sentences. The word ingenious means very clever and original. Ryan found ingenious ways to avoid work. Another great word is profound, which means very great or intense. Ryan felt a profound sense of guilt. Try making your own sentences with these words. Think about the phrase, his laziness would be his undoing. Undoing means the cause of someone's ruin or downfall. We can learn so much about language through stories. What was your favorite part of Ryan's journey? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and want more stories to help you learn, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.